Boom. There I am. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yummy. Mm. Mm. Hi, Gemma. Well, lunchtime. Mm. How you doing, Gemma? Beautiful day in the UK. Absolutely beautiful. Nice breakfast. It is yummy. It's from a market stall called Get Stuffed Catering. And it's so good. And it's £3.50, I think it is, and it's an egg cheeseburger. I'm okay watching the raw footage preparing for Prince Philip's funeral. Is that today? Alright. Honestly, I haven't really followed the royal 3 p.m. Oh, okay. Okay. No, I haven't really followed like the birdie. Hey, bird. Blackie. Yeah, but it's lovely here today. I'm sitting in the park again. Like I did the other day, I'm sitting in the community garden. It is lovely. Let me just show you. Hang on. There you go. Look at that. Little community garden. So there. And then that's the rest of the park. Looks like that. And this is, as you can see from that sign there, this is a community garden little thing. And then you've got a little seating area in the middle. So it's really cute. I come here a lot to eat my lunch. Especially when it's sunny. It's a really nice little area. There'll be a 2-minute silence at 2:59. Oh, okay. 2:59. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Make sure I'm not filming then. Out of respect. It is beautiful. Yeah, it is really nice here. And I come to eat my lunch here quite often. If I'm honest. Probably too often. Yeah, birdie. Tweet, tweet. Birdie. I can't give the birdie all my dinner. Won't have any myself. It is yummy. It's called Get Stuffed Catering. It's really nice. You like the burger, the cheese and the egg. It's so filling. And it's so cheap. It's what I love about our market. They don't outprice so you can't afford it. I was going to go to Costa, but then I changed my mind and thought I'd get something off the market because I haven't obviously been to it in a while, what with COVID. So I thought I'd support our local businesses and get something off the market. Because I can get Costa any day because I live in town, but the market's only here on a Saturday, so have to make the most of the nice food. But it definitely is yummy. But yeah. Thought I would get out today for a bit. I've got literally nothing to do today. As such, son's currently sleeping because he works evenings. But this is his he's got the weekend off this weekend, so I don't have to worry about waking him. Because it's really hard to be at home during the day because he works night, so I have to be really quiet and kind of teeter around, which isn't good because I work from home and I work during the day, and because she works nights I've got to be quiet during the day, so maybe I should start working in the evening instead. I'll start working overnight. To be fair, I can work morning, noon or night. My job's that flexible. But at the minute he's doing 12-hour shifts, so he's doing 8 till 8, which is a lot. Very rewarding, but it's a lot, especially when you haven't worked 12-hour shifts before. It could be a lot to take. He's done 8-hour shifts, so I mean, it's not much more per se. I mean, I used to do 10 and 12-hour shifts myself, but everyone's different. Yeah, like you said, my burger is really nice. It's Get Stuffed Catering. It's kind of a tradition to go to the Saturday market and pick a burger up from there. I've done it since I've moved here. I should get out more. The highlight of my day is picking up a burger from a market store. To be fair, with lockdown kind of still being in effect, I don't really want to go further afield until like June. Although I do have to go to Norwich on Friday against my will because I have an appointment. I'm not really wanting to go to a big city quite yet, but I don't really have a choice. My appointment's actually in Norwich, so we shall see. It's on a Friday, so it's not rammed, hopefully, during the week compared to the weekend. But I haven't been to Norwich since lockdown, really, and I don't know how busy it is because I hate crowds. I don't like big crowds. And I'm guessing with all the shops open, everyone is like flooded to them. But hopefully, as it'll have been a week, things will have kind of died down maybe. Yeah, crowds are an issue for me. I hate crowds. I'm claustrophobic and I hate being in great big crowds. And I don't get on well in big cities. because in a big city, for me, there's too many crowds and too much noise. And the problem I have is, with being half deaf, it's just a bit overwhelming. But it is nice though. Look, want a bite? Have a bite. Yeah, for me it's the crowds and the noise. When I go to Norwich, it's too busy for. I've even lived there. To be fair, I've actually lived in Norwich, and that was enough. I did 6 months there, and that was enough for me. It was too crowded. It was too noisy. There's just much crime up there, if I'm honest. But with having half my hearing gone now, going to somewhere like Norwich, you've got people everywhere. You've got the buses, you've got the people. It's just a bit too much for me. But I don't know. I have to go to Norwich on Friday. I have to. I don't have much of a choice. That's where my appointment is. Yeah. It's more with losing my hearing and then having to go to a big city, and there's so much hustle and bustle and noise and people, and it all gets a bit much. It was perfectly fine, like when I had my hearing like fully, but when you can't hear everything going on, and when trying to talk to people, you've got the buses in the background and the cars, and then there's people shouting and kids, and it's just a bit too much. And it generally gives me a headache when I come back from Norwich. I generally get a headache every time without fail, which is always good. But my burger's definitely nice. I don't know if I can finish it all. Possibly. It is really big. I might walk down to the sheep today. I might go see the lambs and see how they've grown over the last couple of days. If I walk that way and go down the road a bit, there's an entire field of lambs, so I might go film that for a bit and kind of make it like a Ravens Rambles mini, where I just film the sheep. Because to be in all honest, the last week I haven't really fancied going for a walk. I've been a bit lax. I've had appointments all this week. I had my windows ripped out on Thursday, and my house got so cold. They ripped all the windows out the same day, and it was so cold in my house by the time they finished. It was absolutely freezing. So I've probably got a hefty electric bill from turning my heating up to heat my house back up. It's probably a massive one, which can't be helped because I had to reheat my house. But still. But yeah. So I might film the sheep. I think that could be good if we film the sheep. I could live stream the sheep from my phone. If I can get the internet to stay, then I could live stream the sheep, which would be kind of cool, I think. But yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, so make sure you give it a big thumbs up as well. We're gonna go for a walk in a minute. I think we'll walk to see the sheep today. That is supersonic. You can hear the squealing. The little girl getting excited. My eardrums. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. I don't really want to go home yet, although I do have some stuff I'm watching on Netflix. I'm watching World's Toughest Prisons, which is actually quite interesting. Some of the prisons are weird. Some seem to be a bit too strict. Some are too lax. Some are like letting criminals go around with great big massive axes and knives in the kitchens, which I don't get. some of the prisons have conjugal visits, which we don't get in the UK. Good afternoon, J-Ron. Hi. Eating burger in the park. Yeah, I'm watching World's Toughest Prisons on Netflix. I think there's like 5 seasons. And there's been everything from prisoners that are allowed knives in the kitchen to people that work for the fire service that are in prisons. There's prisons from America. There was a UK prison, prisons in Mexico, and I've been watching that. And it's a really cool series. I've never watched, I suppose, that kind of documentary. I've watched prison stuff before, but it's all been like when people are arrested, they're processed, they're taken to jail, and they spend like 30 or 60 days in there. And these are like hardened criminals, you know, lifers and murderers and all that kind of thing. And he shows you the difference between like a prison like I have in the UK, which seems kind of cushy, to people that are basically sleeping on the floor, no hot water, basic rations. Some of the men in the jails don't even eat on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of cool. So I thought I'd watch something from the other side of it, because when you watch prison stuff, you always watch it from the police's side, and this is showing you from the criminal side, like life on the inside and what it's like. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, I think we're going to walk to the sheep and see them, and I can do that and walk at the same time, which would be kind of cool. I need to get a bin though. I'm going to take my handbag, which I can't get over my shoulder. Here we go. Woo. There I am. And we can take my drink. And go this way. Whoa. Hang on, you get a bit of weird angle for a minute. I've only been given 2 hands. I know, rude, isn't it? Rude I wasn't given more hands, huh? Right, here we go. Right, let's walk this way. What we'll do is we'll walk through this field and get to the other side, and we'll go from there. We'll see if we can go see some sheep. Gonna go see if the lambs are in the field, see how big they've grown. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, week or 2 since I filmed the sheep. So we're gonna go see the sheep and see how they're getting on, I guess you could say. Yeah, we're gonna go see some sheep. I'm gonna walk this way. Beautiful field though, look at that, beautiful sun. Woo. Beautiful sunshine. Let me show you where I'm walking. I'm walking through a field. We're going to go see the sheep. So if you want to see the sheep, keep watching. Do give me a big thumbs up as well. As always, if you want to donate to my Costa habit, link is in the description. Didn't go to Costa today, didn't really feel like it. But I did get a nice juicy burger. Even the Coke... What? Even the Coke cans look different. Yeah. This is the Coke can I have. Very basic. Yeah, cans always look different all around the world. They're always different. But yeah, we're going to go see some sheep. That way I don't have to go home quite yet. I'm going to go see the sheepy. I haven't seen the lambs in a couple of weeks, and they're so adorable, so I thought we'd go see them and hopefully you can join me. It is a little chilly out here, to be fair. My arms are quite cold, but I've got my cardigan up, probably cover my arms won't be so cold. And it'll also give me some Fitbit walking points, because I could do with some of them. I haven't done a proper walk in like a week. I did get 7,000 steps the other day though, but I haven't been for a walk in ages. Like a walk has been over a week, but I've been so busy. I've had appointments, I've had my windows replaced. I just haven't had the time to fit one in, which sucks because I was trying to keep fit. So I was like noticing the difference from place to place. No, they are different. I mean, everything in the UK is different to going to, the differences are all different. I mean, there's some of the cans that we get coming from America. There's a shop I like. Hey Jenny, afternoon. There's a shop I like, I can't remember what the sweet shop's called, but it's an American style sweet shop that's in Great Yarmouth, and they do like American candy and sweets, and you can actually get the American Cokes and Dr. Peppers and all that, and they're totally different. They even taste different. I've noticed that before as well. They taste different. The Coke that I get from there, even though it's a cherry Coke and it's the same name as the British one that I get from like a supermarket, they taste entirely different, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the drinks taste different, the cans look different, everything's kind of different. Even though it's the same drink, I've noticed they all taste different. Even the Dr. Pepper that I get from the American store, or the cream soda, or even some of the Pepsis taste different. The cans are different and everything. So it's kind of cool to see how the same drink from two different places and two different countries can be entirely different but the same. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I can get a drink in the UK that you can get in America. Both the same drink, both the same thing, but taste entirely different. Usually it's just the different processing. I wonder when see, because this is actually made in Great Britain. And obviously the ones in America are made there. So obviously they have, I'm guessing, a different processing technique or a different way of making it. Obviously it's the same good Coke recipe, but they obviously must have some different way of manufacturing it, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're gonna go see if we can see the sheep, and see what we can find, because I need to get out today for a bit. What better way than going photographing some sheep? Hopefully I can get some good pictures for Instagram as well. So I need some good Instagram pictures, because I'm doing fairly well on Instagram. Yeah, might be able to show you the houses they're building too. That should be cool as well. And yeah, let's keep going. Good. Well, thank you, Jenny. You're welcome. How are you doing, Jenny? You doing anything fun today? I'm gonna go film the sheep. That's like the highlight of my day, apart from the burger. Sheepy. Ooh, sheep. Sheepy sheep. We're gonna film them sheep on the way back. But yeah, we're going to what we call the field of sheep. No, it's not the field of dreams, it's the field of sheep. I did film them like a week or two ago. So I'm hoping they've grown up a little bit, or there are a couple more. You're all right. Well, good, Jenny. I'm glad. But yeah, let's go to the field of sheep. It's a little bit of a walk, mind you, but like I said, I need to get out. So this is a Ravens Rambles live stream. We're live streaming my ramble today because I need to walk. My steps are down and I need to walk. So we are going to Field of Sheep. It's what we're going to call this stream, Field of Sheep. And they are doing some construction work around here at the minute, so luckily they don't work weekends, so it's a little bit quieter, because all my rambles recently have had the diggers in the background, because they're putting up more houses, because that's exactly what we need in Swaffham, more houses. We're squeezed into this tiny area as it is, and they, through here, want to put more people. But yeah, let me show you what I mean. So here, hang on, here's an empty field which will eventually have more houses in, and over there in the distance is the houses they've already built on an empty field. Now these are going to be glorious 2, 3 and 4 bedroom houses. Probably cost you excess of £700 to £1,000 a month to stay in. They're not cheap, mind you. They are what you call Barrett's fancy homes. And this is going to be the site of more houses. And they're going to be similar, I'm guessing, to the ones that are over there. But as you can see, it's a massive site. And my walk that I do goes right the way through the middle normally. But this is the site. They don't work weekends, which is good. It'd probably take them 9 months to stick the houses up, I would assume, as they don't work weekends. But they have put this kind of path in. They've made it wider. The idea is so that men, women, children can use it to walk to town from their houses, and the children from these houses can then walk to school a bit safer, because they've actually widened it, which I think is kind of cool, because usually it was just a small path. These are the other houses that have been put up. And this is now called Peddler's Meadow. And as you can see, they are building more houses. We are like living in sardine cans. And then obviously you'll get more houses. The site itself is massive. But like I said, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom houses are going on there. It's a ginormous site though. But yeah, these are the new houses put in. They're kind of basic. They're not really anything fantastic, if I'm honest. But they're probably around £700 a month, easily, because mine is 4 and I live in the town centre. And obviously these are what you call new builds, which means they're more expensive. So I shouldn't think you could be in there for less than £700 a month. At least. They're not cheap places. They look alright. See, look, £716 is the average rent. There's a board outside that says own a home from £716 a month. So like I said, they're around £700. Wasn't a bad guess, was it? The thing is, these are 700 and I pay 400 to live in the town centre. So I've technically got the better deal. My flat costs me £390, so just under 400, and I live in the city centre. And these are 716, and you live just outside the city centre. So for an extra £300, you get a house compared to my flat. Now, if you take the fact that the only thing you're getting when you get a house is an extra room, in my case, but we have 2 bedrooms in my flat. So I have a 2-bedroom flat for 400, and a 2-bed house over there is 700. So just to get the extra room for me and to have a tiny bit of garden, it's not worth the extra £300. Not in my eyes. I'm quite happy with my tiny little flat. I do have a communal garden though, which means I can't do anything in it as such. I can put a table and chairs in my back garden. I could put a barbecue down the side of the house, because I have a top floor flat. So all the houses down the bottom get to use the garden, and although I pay for the upkeep of it, I haven't actually been in the garden. I've owned it for a year, would you believe that? Because it's a community garden, it's a bit intimidating going in the garden, if I'm honest. I mean, I'd quite happily have a flat with no garden at all. But the problem I have is I pay for the garden, but I don't actually use it. I pay like 20 quid a month to not go in my garden. Which is annoying, because I don't really use it. And then I pay for it. So, I mean, do with that what you please. I don't pay to use the garden, so should I be paying for it? I guess maybe. But we are coming up on the field of sheep. I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to film the field of sheep. And here we are, field of sheep. Here's little sheepies. Let me just put my drinky down. And these are the little lammies. So here we go, field of sheep. As you can see, we have sheep as far as the eye can see. They go right the way up the field. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk down the side and see if we can film some. So we're going to go around the side and we're going to see if we can film some a bit more. So what we do is we go down here, this little offset, and it's going to lead down the edge of the field. Hang on, let me just zoom you out. Well, but yeah, this is where we are. This is a pedder's way, so I can walk down here. Although it looks like a farmer's field, and it is, we're going to walk down the side of it and see if we can get a couple of more pictures of the sheep. Because the field goes right the way up. And we're going to see if we can walk all the way to the sheep. And see what we can find. If you're wondering why I'm sniffing so much, my hay fever is horrendous. But here we go. Field of sheep. So as you can see, let me zoom in a bit. You get all the little lambs. Here we go. All the little lammies with their mums. And as you can see, there are more in the field over the back as well. They've kind of split them now. They were kind of all in one field, but they've split them kind of. Meh. Hey sheepy. There we have two little lammies. These lambs are probably nearly a month old. They're fairly big when they're born anyway. But there's another mummy one with her babies. Meh. Hey sheepy. Look at them eating lunch. Let's carry on up. There are plenty of sheep though. It's lambing season here in the UK. Lambing season tends to be around April. Hey mummy sheep. And they're so cute and adorable. As you can see, field of sheep. And as you can see, they are right the way over the back. And then the sheep go right the way up the hill. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk this way a bit and see if we can get a closer look. But this is a tiny little path that I've walked down before, but I don't think I've filmed on it apart from filming the sheep. I did bring you down here a week or two ago and we filmed some more of the sheep. The problem with the field is it's kind of closed off and it's kind of hard to film, but we're going to go down a bit further and see if we can get a better look at the sheep. There are more sheep up the top, but as you can see, probably not through the trees. Unfortunately, it's not the easiest thing to film sheep when they're in a field. But as you can see, there are tons of mummies and babies just basking in the heat. The other day I saw a guy tagging all the sheep. They get little ear tags as well. But yeah, there are tons of sheep. We're gonna walk around here and see if I can get a better view. We're gonna walk a bit further down because it is hard to get pictures of the sheep because there's so much foliage. But this is a beautiful walk, mind you. I haven't done this walk in ages, but it is beautiful. So this is like a Ravens Rambles walk live. So as you can see, look, little mummies and babies all basking in this. I wouldn't say it's heat wave. It's pleasant. It's probably about 12-13 degrees. It's what you want to call a pleasant temperature. Here we go. Oh look, pheasant. So here we have some more of the sheep. I've climbed up on a little bit of the hillside to see if I can get a better view of the sheep. See if I can get some better pictures. Here we go, look. Here we go. I filmed some of the sheep. So here we have, if I put my drink down a sec. Field of sheep goes all the way down. Hey sheepy. Meh. You right? He goes all the way up here. Little colony of sheep. You can see they're all sitting over there as well, and there's more sheep in the background. It's a massive field, as you can see, look. Absolutely massive. It's hard to film all the sheep, but in that field over there as well, there's more sheep. But yeah, look, absolutely gorgeous. Meh. And they all kind of hang around in like I don't know what you call them. I suppose you could call them little nursery groups. The sheep kind of all huddled together, kind of thing. I'm gonna have to close my phone a sec so I can get myself down safely. Yeah. Perfect. Woo. And we're back again. But yeah, that got you some closer pictures. I went in the hedge a little to get a closer picture, because the sheep are so far from the edge of the road. Obviously, because it's a really noisy main road, you've got lorries and cars coming past there day and night. So what I did was I just went up on the side bit to get a better view, to show you the sheep, because I think sheep are adorable. And I don't eat lamb, so the adorable little lambs aren't being ate by me. I don't like lamb. I've tried it before and I found that it was just not for me. But then again, in all honesty, apart from like pork and beef, I don't eat many other animals. I'm very, I wouldn't say conscious of how many animals I eat. I mean, I'd like to think, I've got something in my shoe. I'd like to think that, how is it? I only eat enough meat to survive. I'm not there eating meat every day, kind of thing. I think that you should eat meat so many times a week because it's like good for you. But I don't feel that necessarily you need to eat meat like every day, or anything like that. In the UK, we have this thing that's called a meat-free day. So you have like meat-free Monday, where you don't eat meat one day a week. And that's meant to help preserve and improve the population of animals by having a meat-free day. Hey Maisie. It's kind of like having a meat-free day once a week. You can have meat-free Friday or meat-free Monday, and you're meant to not eat meat just for that one day a week, because some people have meat, fish and everything every day, and it's to try and help the population. But here we go again. Let me just show you a bit more. But yeah, there are lambs right over into the field over the back there. And there's quite a few babies this year, mind you. Quite a few. The lambing season, amazingly, with the atrocious weather we've had. Hey, sweetie. With the atrocious weather we've had recently, the lambs have done... Hey, how are you doing? You know you're going to be turned into lamb chops or woolly jumpers at some point, but at the minute, you're so cute. So you can see that this is kind of an older sheep, and this is kind of a baby sheep, so there's probably a couple of weeks between the two of them. Or maybe he's the runt of the sheep. I mean, you do get runts of the litter, the same as you do with any animal. Hey, sheepy. Meh. Sheepy. But look, they are eating their dinner so they can grow into big healthy sheep. And I want to say that is the mummy sheep, because the lambs and that do tend, if you look in the background here, they do tend to stay quite close. You can see that, quite close to their lambs. They do kind of keep them in proximity to themselves. As you can see, that one's walking its lamb around with him. They don't tend, as you see here, they're also eating together. They don't tend to let the sheep go like too far from like being together. They generally keep together. Well, that's loads of sheep. Yeah, I mean, if you take this field and the other field, you've probably got, I don't know, hundreds, I would say a couple of hundred sheep. And this isn't the only field. There are more fields of sheep. There's another field, you can't see where I'm pointing. There's another field back that way further down the road, on the right. and that has tons of sheep in as well, and I call that the mini field of sheep because it doesn't have as many, but it does have sheep nonetheless. But yeah, I don't eat, like I said, I don't eat lamb myself, and a lot of people do, and that's perfectly fine. But with the fact I eat pork and beef, I have this thing of not eating too many animals. I suppose you could say it's a conscientious decision. I don't really like the meat of lamb. I don't like chicken. I don't like turkey. I'm not really a big fan of pork unless it's in sausages. I won't eat like a pork chop or anything. And when it comes to beef, it's generally mince that I have. But that is field of sheep, and we're gonna go that way once I don't die, because it's quite busy here. And we're gonna go brum, I'm a broom car. Okay, yeah, it is quite noisy, but we're gonna walk this way. This is a greenhouse lane footpath. We're gonna walk down here, and this will take me back to town, and it will take me to some more sheep. So we are going to walk down this way. It'll also become a little quieter because we won't have the noise from the cars. I meant to say brum brum in my mum's car. Autocorrect. Don't you love autocorrect? Autocorrect is like the best thing you can get on your phone. But yeah, that was the field of sheep, which is kind of cool. Now we're going to walk this way, and that way I can get my 5,000 steps in today, at the very least. With my bad back at the minute, the target is 5,000 a day. And over the last week I haven't hit 5,000 a day, which is bad, I know. You can tell me off in the comments. I didn't walk 5,000 steps yesterday, or the day before, or the day before that, because I was stuck at home. I don't walk around my flat enough to make 5,000 steps. But this is a little Bridleway, if you want to call it, walkway, and it goes round some of these massive houses. I mean, they'd swallow my tiny flat. But it's kind of warm out here as well. It's kind of warm, but ever so often there's like a little breeze just to take the edge off it, so while walking it's not getting too hot. It's probably the best weather to walk in. It's not raining, it's not cold, you're not overly hot. So it's like a leisurely stroll. But I've had my burger from the market. We've gone to the field of sheep, as I called it. We're walking this way, and when we get to the bottom and we turn left, that then goes behind where they're building more houses. And you also get a field of sheep as well. So you never know, we might get some more sheep today. To be fair, I wasn't actually going to go for a walk. But then when I got my burger and I sat in the park, and I thought it's a really nice day to go for like a mini walk. My back doesn't feel up to doing too much, because I don't know if about you, but apparently it was like -1 degrees last night, and I could feel the cold in my back, because the day before I didn't have any windows in my house. That's probably why. It was cold, and it takes a while to reheat your house, because we had all the windows taken out all on the same day. So my front room was kind of cold. Oh my god, it's a squirrel. Can you see little nutkins down the bottom there? There's a tiny little squirrel. I don't know if you'll see him, but he's going up the tree. I've never caught a squirrel on camera, and there are 2 that live in my back garden, but can I film the damn things? I could get up at all times of the morning and I cannot get that squirrel on camera. There's like 2 of them. But whoever's got this garden's got a beautiful little garden. This is what you call a spinney. My granddad always used to say a garden like this at the back was called a spinney, because it'd be like where nothing would grow. But it's so woodland. It's beautiful. No, I don't know where the squirrel went. But there are some gorgeous little birdies around though. Plenty of blackbirds, plenty of sparrows, plenty of thrushes. You could probably hear them tweeting in the background. They're never quiet. It is kind of cool. It is kind of cool, yeah. I mean, I've never been able to get a squirrel on camera. They're so nimble. But he was in that tree, and I could see his little tail going up the side. And this little area here in this person's back garden is perfect for squirrels. You could probably sit there all day here and just watch the wildlife, the squirrels and the birds and everything, and it would be so peaceful. And that's probably why they've got like a little summer house down there. But I mean, look at this. How beautiful is this? And this is in my hometown of Swaffham. These little walks are all around my little neighbourhood that I live in, and this is only a small town, but they have so many little offshoots when it comes to walks, that when I first moved here I didn't know half of these existed, and I've lived in the area for about 12-13 years, and I didn't know little shoots like this even existed. I've never walked them. I didn't know about them. And you have little signs like these here. Hang on. Well, here. And these are here. And these are what you call the circular walk. So this walk here, you basically go around, and it's meant to be like, I'm guessing it's like a big loop. I mean, I've walked from there and gone that way, but I've never walked this way. So what do we say? Where do we go from here? Do we walk the way I haven't been? Or do we go back the way I know? What do you think? Because I've never been down that way, and it looks beautiful. And I know that way goes back to town, where I would probably end the live stream. So should we go this way and go a bit further afield? Should we do that one? Up to you. Okay, let's go this way, because we haven't been. Let's go this way. Because this is part of the walk that I didn't do, because I went back the other way. But look how cute this person's garden is. Their garden's massive. And you get all the little birdies, and you get all the little squirrels in there. We're going to walk this way because I haven't walked it. But if you sat here all day, look. You see birdies dancing around that? And I guarantee you there are at least a few squirrel nutkins hanging in there. But yeah, let's walk this way, because this way I haven't been. This is one of the walks that I didn't do. I did what you'd call the, like, go around in a circle bit. But people always ask, do you walk on your own? Yes, mainly my walks are done by myself. Is it safe is also a question. I mean, I would say it's fairly safe. Just don't get lost. Now this, it's what you call a circular walk. It should land me straight back in town. It would be hard to get lost in Swaffham. It's not a very big place. It's kind of in a circle because of the main roads that like outline it. So we're like in the middle, and then you get the main road that side and the main road this side, and then we're like all in the middle kind of thing. I suppose you could say we're like in the middle of the circle. So the roads like go around the outside and we're in the middle of it. So you'd be hard pressed to get lost. But I guess it's possible. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past me. If I go missing, it's all on camera, Jenny. If I go missing, you can see where I am. But it's beautiful around here. But yeah, this is a live Ravens Rambles. How cool is that? I haven't done one of these in ages. Not a live one anyway. But yeah, look. Diddy little birdies. Look how cute he is. Tiny little birdies everywhere. And it's so peaceful out here. Okay, apart from the main road. But yeah, see, we're going in like a circle. So it should effectively lead right the way around to town. Kind of like the other side does. But in all honesty, how beautiful is the scenery though, living here? I mean, you've got fields and fields. And it's so beautiful, look. I mean, how more beautiful can you get than this? I mean, it is gorgeous out here. I've got my drink though, so I'm definitely hydrated. And I had my burger. So I got my food. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful spring day. Now, this is what you call spring. This is definitely what I would call my first official day of spring. I think this is probably the best day we've had so far this year. And with the fact that we can go to the beach now, the shops are open, lockdown is kind of on the way out, if you want to call it that. But look, beautiful little flowers. Beautiful little flowers, and then you've got all these little buttercups. Don't know if you can see them. Like, beautiful little buttercups, and I think they're buttercups. I'm honestly not a flower connoisseur, but look how beautiful all of this is. Ignoring the traffic, obviously. But it is so beautiful here. So beautiful. And majestic. And it's so secluded. I mean, look. Just a field with nothing in it. I know it doesn't look like much. But living in the UK at the minute, this... Oh, here we go, another flower. And this is a dandelion. And then you've got little rabbit holes. Or little mole holes in the things as well. Obviously wouldn't walk this at night. It's a bit too secluded. But you get all the little flowers. You got the little rabbit holes or the little mole holes, which are kind of cool. We've got little birds. Oh, and my Fitbit's going off. Ooh, what does that mean? Ooh, we hit 5,000 steps. Big thumbs up for 5,000 steps. I did my 5,000 today. I can go home now. That's what I was here for, to do my 5,000 steps today. I'm also trying to get my watch time up so I can get monetized. That's one of my goals, is to get my watch time up. I want to get monetized, but I need my watch time to go up. But if you want to donate to my channel, link is in the description. You can donate to my PayPal and fund my walking. It funds my drink and snacks and my shoes, because you have no idea how quickly my shoes wear out when walking. They wear out really quickly. Although I do have some good trainers, they do wear out. Now here we are at the bridge. If you've done walks from me before, you will recognize this bridge here. So this bit here comes up to the bridge where we filmed before. If you remember me doing this walk that goes down the side, this is the bridge that it leads to. And as you can hear, the main road above. So we're going to walk this way and head back towards town. But I had no idea that that little track was even there, because I've walked this. This was the first Ravens walk I did. And that went under the bridge. And I had no idea that little bit there led onto the other bit. So that's the best thing about coming out for a walk. You don't know what little bits you're going to find. Little offshoots and little areas that you're going to find. Little blackbirds hanging around, just teeting around. It's really cool out here. Obviously you've got the traffic, which isn't great, but you got tons of little rabbit holes, and I've actually filmed some rabbits recently. They were one of the first walks I did, and I got rabbits and deer in the same video. Which was pretty cool. But we are near the main road coming here, and I did this as my first Ravens Rambles. This was the first walk I did, where we came down here, we went under the bridge, we went over to the other side, and we did what we call a circle. We ended up going in like a loop from one side of the road to the other. Then we got down to the end and we crossed over the main road. And this is basically the other side of that road. And we walked this for the first Ravens Rambles, because I didn't know that other walk was even there. I had no idea where that turning went. And when I did the circular, when I did the sheep and we did the first lot of sheep, then we did a circle. And then I had a choice of going straight down or to the left, which is the road we took today. I went straight down because I knew where that one went. And this one obviously links back onto this road, which, had I have known, I'd have walked this way. And maybe I wouldn't have gone across the big main road. But I wanted to do the big main road because I wanted to show the bridge. And it's one way that you can walk from Spall, which is where I used to live, to here without taking the bus, and it's a beautiful walk. It was one of the first walks I did when I moved here. When I first moved here on the first day, I came too late in the day, and at that point in time we didn't have a car, so I had to walk, and we took this circular walk to get over the other side. And under the bridge, because at that point in time it was safer than taking my 2 boys over the main road, because back then they'd have been like 3 and 4 years, 3 and like 6 years old. So it was safer to do the loop and avoid crossing the main road, especially with a pushchair and that. So we did this walk and avoided the main road, and walked to the other side. And it was about 30 odd degrees that day. It was an absolute blinder, and it seemed twice as long back then than it did when I walked it this time. Last time I think it was more due to the heat. I think the heat gave it away. But it is a beautiful walk, aside from the noisy road, which is there. It is a gorgeous walk, and you can do this in the spring, summer, autumn and winter, and it's always been very picturesque. I've always loved how the area looks. It always seems to be well kept, well maintained. The paths always seem to be clear. I think that's just how nature's done it. They don't seem to like overhang. The path is, as you can see, it's definitely a clear path, but it is really beautiful. We've been live for over an hour. How cool is that? But yeah, if my live stream goes, it probably means I'm out of data. Again, we have the wind turbine, which fascinated people. To be fair, quite a lot of countries have turbines now. They're a good economic, but they are kind of an eyesore, mind you. I mean, to me, they're kind of an eyesore. I mean, they're a great big whirly thing, but I mean, each to their own, I guess. It is kind of an eyesore, and there's more of them that way, which I've also taken you to on a walk. I've took you to the other turbines where there's like 4 or 5 of them in a field. So this one's just on its own, but there is another field that's got like 4 or 5 of them in, which I have actually taken you to as well. And that was on another Ravens Rambles. That was the same one that had the deer in it, if you're wondering. So if you look up Ravens Rambles, the deer one, it had deer, rabbits and ducks that day, I think, in the video. It's one of the first ones I did. And that had more turbines in that people were amazed by. You got these beautiful little flowers as well. So it's really peaceful out here. I mean, yes, you're walking by a main road, which you are, but in all honesty, it doesn't detract from how beautiful this walk is, though. And like I said, I've done this walk before. It was the first Ravens Rambles. If you go back to my first one, you can see me walking both sides of this track. That's the problem. What? That's the problem. If the data, we don't want to over it. Yeah. If I run out of data, it'll cut out. I have so much data. I won't go over on my data. It'll just cut out the stream, because I have an allowance each month. And I haven't live streamed in a while, so I can't see that it would. But I've also got to renew my StreamYards at some point. I haven't renewed that yet, so I can't go live at the minute on my actual desktop. and have anyone on a panel because I need to renew my StreamYards. If you want to help with that, links in the description to my PayPal to help fund me get back up and live on YouTube. I'm live at the minute, but I'm using my data, and if I want to use how do I put it, if I want to have a panel or anything, I've got to use StreamYards, and I've run out because you're only allowed like 20 hours a month, and I've run out. So I'm streaming off my phone. You stream through live YouTube, not Streamlabs, so then it doesn't eat my data like that. But this is where we come out, and it's quite beautiful. Here is where we come out, and as I said, Bridleway to Spool, and if we walk this way down there and go up there and across, we end up going to the allotments, which is kind of cool. There's even random butterflies just flying around. Look, we've got butterflies too, which is kind of cool. So we're going to walk this way, and this will take us back to town where I live. It's a beautiful little walk though. And I filmed the entire walk. Today you've seen the entire walk that I would normally chop up, modify and change. I mean, quite a lot of the time I'd take a walk and it would be like 2 hours long, and I sit there and edit it and chop it up into little bits and take like boring bits out or things where there's not a lot of scenery. But there's the wind turbine again. So we're going to walk this way, and this will take us back to town. Hopefully my battery and my data keeps going. We're going to walk this way, and if we go up here and we go to the left, we go past the Swaffham allotments, which people have probably been getting a lot of use out of during lockdown, because you actually could go to your allotments. I do not believe you've been stopped going to your allotments during the lockdown at all. I think you were allowed to go no matter what. As long as you like socially distance from other people when you're at your allotment kind of thing, you could still go. But now we're walking down here, look. How beautiful is this? So my town, I'm a little out of breath because I don't usually walk the full hour continuously. I usually have a break. So I'm a little out of breath today. But yeah, you keep going down here, and then on the right along here further down you then get the Swaffham allotments, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to put you on me for a minute so you can see me instead. Yeah, it's been nice. You can hear the little birdies tweeting away. Dressed in black, although it's really warm. I know, people are going to say, why are you dressed in black? Because I am. That's why. Perfect. Keep walking. Hey, Booch. Right, well, we've done what, 6,000 steps today? I think I might give myself a pat on the back for that, shall we? And then, like I said, over here, if the sun wasn't so bright, see? These are the allotments, which are pretty cool. I like the fact that one's got a witch, weather vane and a cat on it. That's my kind of weather vane. A witch and a kitty. But yeah, these are the Swaffham allotments. And I should think they've been thriving. I mean, the weather hasn't been too bad, mind you. But yeah, you've got little sheds, and it's a really nice allotment. It's just out from the city centre, or the town centre, should we say. So it's nice and quiet, and it's by a little, I suppose you could call it a bidewell. The allotments themselves are fairly well guarded. You've got barbed wire, you've got a gate, which is kind of cool. I've never known anyone to own an allotment per se, but if you're like me and you live in a flat and I don't actually have a garden as such, I have a communal garden, so there's me and 4 other houses or 4 other apartments that have a garden. And because I'm a top floor flat, everyone at the bottom has a patch of garden apart from me. But I pay £20 a month to not go in my garden. But they do mow it every 6 weeks, I think it is. 4 to 6 weeks. And I pay £20 for that. Which is a lot to mow the lawn. But I haven't gone in there because I don't know about you, but with the communal garden, they have their own little patches outside their house because they're ground level. I'm up top, which means that I don't have a patch of garden, but I do have the side of my flat, which is where the gate is to get to everyone's back garden. So in all honesty, if I wanted a patch, I could take the side bit down the side of the flats as my own, and then everyone else has got the back garden and I've just got the side bit, which has a path running through the middle. You've got the gate that gets into the gardens, so I could have a patio set up against the wall. I could have a barbecue up against the wall. I guess if I wanted to, I could dig a little patch out along strip along the side of the flat and put flowers in. But honestly, I am not a gardener, although I wouldn't mind having a little 2-seater patio set out in there, because in the summer it is really nice to sit in the garden, you know, it can be kind of nice to hang out and sit in the garden, I suppose you could call it. Oh, look, little blackbird. You can't see him because the camera's the wrong way. Little blackbird. Just perfect little weather for them, though. You got little sparrow there. Sparrow or thrush. Can't remember which. That one's a blackbird. I'm not up on my birds. You might tell. But yeah, you get all the little pollies, and it's all kind of cute along here. Everyone's got their own little patch, which I think is quite cute. Yeah, it's kind of sweet, isn't it? Having all the little gardens, you've got little sheds and everything. It's kind of sweet. Let's put you back on me so I don't get into trouble. Because I don't film the allotments, but I walk past them because I think some people have some really nice greenhouses and stuff, and people have a tendency to steal shit. Let's be honest. But you get your little polytunnels, you get your little pots. Some people have little sheds, and it could be quite nice to spend your day just doing your garden. Especially if you're like me and you don't have a garden, because like I said, I live in a flat, so I don't have a garden per se. But you've got all the little which is kind of cool. What am I doing? Okay. I'm not sure if you're allowed animals at all. Would be kind of nice if you could have like chickens, but I'm not sure if you can have animals on there. I think I might have heard a chicken, so maybe. But this road, which is a public byway, as you can see, comes out here, which I've never been down, so never been down here. So you're not allowed to use guns on the allotment, which I'm not sure why you would. But then you've got a restricted byway that goes this way, apparently. Look at that. It's kind of like cool. And you got a restricted byway that says this way. So I guess I go down there. Is that way? That's cool, isn't it? And then it says public way that way. So let's walk this way, because this is public bridle footpath, which I've never been down either. I love the fact that you've got all these little paths to go down, and I have no idea where they go. There is some paths over the other side of town I want to take you on as well. There's a public footpath that goes, you walk down the side of a farm, and then you walk further on, and it takes you somewhere else. There are, as you can see, there are so many little nooks and crannies around here, and I haven't been down half of them. So you have to bear with me on where I'm actually going. So I've lived in the area for 13 years. I've been in Swaffham like a year, but I've spent like 9 months of it in my flat. Because when I moved in in June, and that was the height of the pandemic then. I moved at the craziest time I could. But then my move was delayed by 3 months because of the pandemic as well. So I moved late. Then I moved in the height of the pandemic. Purple flowers. So it didn't really go well for me. And then when I did move here, everything was closed. I couldn't really go out. It wasn't the best start to moving somewhere new that you could do. Let's put it like that. It wasn't the best move I've ever had. It could have been worse, mind you. But like I said, the move was delayed. I couldn't get anyone to lay carpets in my apartment because no one would come in your house. I lived in a top floor flat, and my deliveries were left down the bottom of my flat stairs, like my fridge and my sofa. I actually had to carry them upstairs myself with my son, because they actually refused to bring them up. So that way's that way. I don't know where we're going. Does anyone know where we're going? Because I don't. We're going to get lost, Jenny. We're going to get lost. It's going to be the fun part of it. We're going to get lost. So you come here. It's a beautiful little open field. And I believe you could walk down here. Ooh. I have no idea. I'm not exactly sure where we are. I guess that's all the fun of it. We don't know where we are. So that's obviously the big main road. There's another wind turbine, because that's different to the wind turbine. Wind turbine. You have to excuse me. I break into proper Norfolk. My Norfolk accent comes out when I say certain words like wind turbine. Like my granddad would say, my Norfolk accent comes and goes. Sometimes I talk normal, and then certain words, like tractor and combine harvester, I break out into Norfolk. It's a really hard thing to stop doing. But yeah, that's a wind turbine. It's a turbine. Reminds me of, what is it? Wurzel Gummidge, talking proper Norfolk. If you haven't seen Wurzel Gummidge, you'll understand what I mean by like a proper Norfolk accent. No one ever thinks I'm from Norfolk until I like break my Norfolk kind of accent in, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Norfolk." Like, yeah, Norfolk. So a lot of people don't know where I'm from. But I was born and bred in Norfolk. I just don't have what you call a fully fledged Norfolk accent unless I say certain words. But I'm in an open field, walking down the edge, which I believe you can walk on. It did show the path going this way. I'm not getting into trouble like last time where the sign seemed to be misleading and I had no fucking idea where I was. But the farmers were very accommodating and just let me walk through. And if I hadn't, I wouldn't have seen the beautiful deer that I saw. So shout out to the farmer that let me walk through his field last time, because I saw some deer, and that was possibly the best thing of the year, was to see the deer. Today we've seen birds, we've seen squirrels. That is a little bumblebee. I'm highly allergic to them, so we'll just let him go about his business. Because I can't afford to get stung, because I'll die and so will he, and really it put a sting in my day. I'm highly allergic to bees and wasps. The last time I had a bee sting, I ended up in hospital, and the wasp sting nearly killed me. So less said about the bees and wasps, the better. But it's a beautiful little day. Beautiful, sunny weather. I have no idea where we are, so we're just going to walk and find out. See, this is the best thing about living in a little town like this. All these little offshoots that you don't see. All these little byways, little bridle ways that you don't see unless you like put yourself out there and walk the wrong way. As I put it. Walk the wrong way. The other week we did a walk and I walked down the side of a farmer's building, and that I thought I was in the wrong place. And that was the actual walk. It was meant to have gone down a farmer's building. And then the week before, I was on a farmer's property and we were in the wrong fucking place. So who knows? Once I was in the wrong place, and then this last time, we walked down a farmer's side of his building, down a track, and we were actually meant to be on there. So I don't know about you, but sometimes the bridewells aren't labelled very well. Like I said, the first time wasn't meant to be on the farmer's field. The second time I was meant to be on the farmer's field. So as long as you're not walking like right down the centre, damaging crops, and you're on the outskirts of a field, you should be fine. You should be fine. I'm not breaking any codes, because by the look of it, it's an actual walkway. But we're going to come out here, and then we're going to find out where we are, because I've come out of a farmer's field, and this looks like That looks like it's the road that leads up to Waitrose, because that's where Waitrose is with the spinny thing. So let's go this way. Let's go left. See what I mean? Because I did a walk